For millennia, his ancestors have roamed the African bush, but 5 million years of rhino history are coming to an end here and now. Sudan is his name, the last man standing, 2 tons of forlorn and frustrated masculinity. He can fight the females with which he shares his twilight years, but not much else. He's too old to breed, and they can no longer bear young.
This is the last chance of these animals.
And that puts the northern white on the brink of oblivion.
How would you feel if they were to become extinct?
I'll feel bad. It's the same as losing your children or your brother or your sister at home.
Sudan is guarded day and night from poachers who prize the rhino's horn more highly than the living creature. But for the northern white rhino, that battle is lost. Instead, the men who might save this species come armed not with guns, but with science.
A lot of the techniques that we're using are experimental.
The plan is to harvest eggs and sperm from these survivors in the hope that someday technology will allow them to find a surrogate mother.
So we could be looking at the disappearance of these animals for a period of time on the planet to be preserved as embryos, for example, for reintroduction back onto planet Earth at some stage in the future. That's most definitely a possibility.
20 years ago, we reported on the struggle to save the last white rhinos in the wild by tagging them with trackers. Part of that team was Dr. Peter Morkel. 20 years on, he hasn't entirely given up.
Can the world afford to lose creatures like that?
I don't think so. I just think they're so special. Our world is going to be a much poorer place without them.
Put your hand on your heart and answer honestly. If we were to come back here in 10 or 20 years' time, do you think we will still see these rhino?
Personally, I think it's very unlikely, but I would like to be optimistic.
To get this close is awe-inspiring and, to be honest, a little nerve-wracking too. But it is also beyond heartbreaking to think that he might be the last of his line. The question now is whether science can save what mankind has all but destroyed. For Sudan, it is a minute to midnight. No one can turn the clock back, but if science can perform miracles, it might effectively bring his species back from the dead. John Ray, ITV News, Kenya.